It's going to get a lot worse. You guys ain't seen nothing yet. You know, wait till you see how much worse it's going to be in a year or two. There's going to be more unemployment, and then you're going to start to see prices really go up as the dollar collapses in value and food gets a lot more expensive. Healthcare.
Wait, time out. You're still saying that the government is totally the only person to blame. However, corporations are still complicit in their guilt if they're the ones that are doing what's ever cheaper for their shareholders.
Look, a lot of people on Wall Street acted recklessly, and they should have been held accountable. They should have been allowed to lose money. They shouldn't have been bailed out. But my question is, why did they do these foolish things? You know, President Bush said Wall Street got drunk. He was right. They were all stinking drunk. But the question was, where did they get all that alcohol? Why were they drunk?
But you're blaming the alcoholic for being enabled.
No, I'm blaming the bartender for liquoring them up. I'm blaming Alan Greenspan. I'm blaming the Fed and the government for doing it.
Aren't they both at guilt, though? They're both at guilt, and you're just saying no. Only one is at guilt.
I'm not excusing them.
Okay.
But I'm saying that if you want to stop the behavior, you got to go to Washington. You got to cut it off at the source, and you can't say it's capitalism. If people are saying capitalism is failing, it's not working, we haven't even tried it in decades. We need capitalism. That's what does work. We know that works.
Right now,
we have corporatism.
18 of the members of the board that have connections to the bailout. 18 members of the Federal Reserve Board that have connections to the Federal Reserve are sitting right now on companies that receive part of the $700 billion target bailout. What about the conflict of interest that exists between Wall Street and the Federal Reserve?
No, you're 100% right. It's a disgrace. You know, when I was on television, when they first proposed, I was against CARP. I said, look, if there's a bank that is going to fail, you let it fail. You let the shareholders lose money. Let the bondholders lose money. Because if you bail them out now, it's a moral hazard, and we're just going to get more of that bad behavior in the future. You know, capitalism means private losses and private profits. It doesn't mean private profits and socialized losses.
Explain to them
that's exactly what we're saying.
And the Federal Reserve, can you help educate people here as to why we believe there's a conflict of interest between the interests of Wall Street and the Fed?
Well, the problem is the banks are keeping interest rates artificially low to prop up the speculative activity on Wall Street. What we actually need in this country is higher interest rates, not lower interest rates, because that'll take the money out of Wall Street, put it back on Main Street. Businessmen can't borrow money at these low interest rates. It's all going to the government through guaranteed debt, through the Treasury market, through the corporate bond market. There's no real capital available for Main Street, but if we let interest rates go up, number one, people will stop spending and start saving again because they can get a decent interest rate on their savings, and there'll be more capital on Main Street to fund new businesses, to produce things here, to hire people here. But of course, if we want to do all that, we need to get the government to repeal a lot of the rules and regulations that have artificially increased the cost of doing business and hiring people in this country.